Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Lots of things have been on the hook. I hope you're staying warm this winter. It is so cold here. It's in the teens and I am cold, so I'm wearing my brand new front and center poncho that I made while I was off a few weeks ago, and I was just bored and I found this in my stash. This is my scarfy yarn. Love it, love it, love it. This is Eggplant is the name of the colorway, and it's a beautiful, beautiful colorway. Just all shades of purple, beautiful in there. And there's a little bit of wool in here, about 15%. So it's not doesn't cause my nose to run too much. When I wear all wool, sometimes I get a little bit of an allergy to it. I think just wearing too much of it. So I'm wearing just 15% of it today, and just wanted to show this to you. I did not put the sleeves in it. You can the pattern calls for sleeves, which are just short, probably about that big, and I thought I'm not doing that. And I also adjusted it for the length. So let me show that to you. I know this is like a fire hose today. I have a lot to talk about, and I want to inspire you to be a great crocheter. If you're a beginning crocheter, you can use my patterns to become better and better and better, and they will fit you the first time. So I guarantee that when you start one of my patterns for a wearable, then you will know it fits me the first time. So let's take a look at this in the long view. This is the long view of my front and center poncho. I'll put the link to the pattern in the description box below, or you can find it on my Etsy shop, and it might be under the fall lookbook that I did last year. I did 5 patterns, and this was one of them, the front and center poncho. Now, let me tell you what I did different. I, of course, mentioned the sleeves already. I left them off completely, but you can certainly crochet those on very easily at the end. If you decide that you want a little bit more coverage on the top of your arms, you can do that. And then the back of it, I made 3 inches longer than the front. See how long the back is? It's quite a bit longer than the front, and you can see that on the side as well. Maybe on the other side. Let's see if you can see it better there. There's the slit right there, and there is the length of the back. It's a little bit longer in the back to give a little more coverage, and it's a little bit warmer this way as well. So I'm just wearing this with some jeggings, some denim leggings, and some black booties, and my warm wool socks. So I'm warm today. Hope you like this. The front and center poncho, again, made with scarfy yarn by Lion Brand. 1.5 balls will do this for you. Y'all know I'm not sponsored by Lion Brand, but I love their yarns. Most of their yarns have been very wonderful for me to crochet with. So if you're looking for a good brand, you can try Lion Brand. They have really nice yarns, and you can't find them everywhere. I usually actually order mine on Amazon or from the Lion Brand site. Some of the other sites like Joann's, they don't carry all the colors, and so I go to the Lion Brand site to make sure I can see what's available, and then I'll order it from there, or I might go to Amazon and order it. You pay more on Amazon, but you get free shipping, so it's not really free, but you know, you do your best to get your yarn where you want it. And if you want this color, it's Eggplant. There are lots of other beautiful colors in scarfy yarn. Now let's get to the exciting part of my show today. I found some wonderful yarn at Joann. It's called Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. Now, I'm not a huge granny square fan, but I've gotten to where I really like granny squares. I don't like calling them granny squares, but they're motifs, and they're little squares that you can sew together and make certain things from. And this is one of the colorways. This is called Soft White Shadow, and it's several shades of white and then some black thrown in there. I think the black is the center. Yes, if you look on the front of the label of all these different colorways, they show you a square or several squares that are made up, and you can see what they look like. Now, this is not the colorway I used to make my new tote, but this is what it looks like made up. That's this colorway made up. This is what it looks like. Let me get it up there where you can see it. It turned out great. I mean, I have no complaints about this yarn. Now, I've bought 2 different colorways. This one, of course, and then I also bought this one. This is the Black and Dove, and what this is black around the edges right there. You can see that. Black around the edges, and then the whites are mixed in to the center of the square, and mostly you're using black. So I bought another skein of black. This is the Super Saver Jumbo. That's all they had at Joann. I wanted the smaller skein, but this is 396 grams. That's huge. 744 yards. I mean, you could probably make a sweater out of this. There's so many yards in here. But anyway, I bought this, and of course, this is the Super Saver Jumbo. Y'all know what Red Heart is, I'm sure. This is how much I had left after I made my tote, and I used 13 squares. This says it makes 14, but I believe it makes more than that. I had this much yarn left over, which is quite a bit of yarn actually. It's probably 20 yards, maybe more than that. So I had probably enough to make a couple of squares, but what I did was I saw some patterns that I liked for totes, and I felt like this yarn is, for me, not soft enough for a garment. Maybe for a poncho or something like that, it'd be great if you're going to wear it over something. But next to your skin, I'm just not convinced that this would be the best buy for me. Now, you can make it all day long if you want to. In fact, everything I used to make was out of Red Heart Super Saver. But I've moved on to some softer yarns. Now, after this has been out of the ball a while, it's a little bit softer, honestly, after you've handled it. So I might change my mind about that. But right now, I'm using this particular yarn to make a tote. Now, let me show you the tote that I made, and Crystal's going to model it for us. Here she is wearing my tote on her shoulder. If you can see that. It's just funny. I was acting silly this morning, but wanted Crystal to model this for me. But this is my new tote, and you've probably seen this on YouTube. Maybe some people do the free patterns. I don't like free patterns because a lot of times they have mistakes. Not that everyone is like that, but I write my patterns with much care, and then I publish them on Etsy, and I charge for them because, in my opinion, a 10 or 15 page pattern with photos to help guide you through the pattern is, I think it's as good or better than a tutorial on video. I'm not a fan of those, and I don't do those. If y'all ask me, I'll just say no, I don't do those. But I do write my patterns in a way that you can understand them. They're written in full sentences or mostly sentences, and the words are easy to understand. There's no cryptic message in there. You don't really know what you're supposed to do. So I wrote a pattern for this. This is the On the Hook Granny Square Tote, very simple, and it took 13 squares of the Granny Square yarn that I just showed you, and I used the black and cream colors. They're all mixed in there, but beautiful squares. I'll get this up here where you can see it. The squares are really beautiful, and I lined this, and you have an optional lining in the pattern. I tell you how to do it. It's very simple, but the optional lining I did in a gray satin. It's really beautiful, and you reach your hand in there and it feels so good. It's so soft and smooth. And then I made the strap much wider, and I used a kind of a decorative stitch on here to make it look special. And that's what I like about this tote. I really like it. I'm going to model this for you. Let me stand up here and I'll model this for you. This is what it looks like when you wear it. It's just the perfect length, and I tell you exactly how I did it in the pattern. The length of the strap is just perfect for me, and you can also make it longer if you want, or even a crossbody, but this is a little bit big for a crossbody. I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit big for a crossbody, but I do like it because you could carry an entire crochet project in here and just hit the road and throw it in your seat and use it when you stop. I really like this tote. I didn't think I would at first, but I like it because it looks like it has triangle squares on the sides, but it's really not. It's just one square folded over, and then of course the bottom is the same. So in the pattern I show you how to lay out your squares, how to sew them together. We're not sewing, we're crocheting them together, and then how to put the whole thing together in the pattern. So it's called the On the Hook Granny Tote pattern, and that will be available this afternoon. If you're watching this on the publication date of January 19, I will have the pattern out this afternoon. You'll get an email if you're in the community. Be sure to sign up. If you beat me to it, you will get email from me that tells you where to find the pattern, and I might even put a discount in there. In fact, I probably will put a discount in there for community members. So be sure that you purchase it through Etsy and use the discount code that I'll give you on the email that I'll send out to you. So be looking for that this afternoon. If you're watching this later, it'll already be in your inbox if you're in the community. It's free to join the community. I do not charge for any of that. I don't charge for you to be in the community. All you do is give me your email address, and I, once in a blue moon, will send an email out. I rarely do that except when I get a new pattern that I'm publishing, or if I'm receiving some new colors of the On the Hook project bags that look like this. These are the project bags, and I do have some new colors, and Mr. On the Hook is going to send an email out about the new colors here really soon. On the email, you will get a notice of the On the Hook Granny Square Tote pattern that's available on my Etsy shop. Now, if you're new to crochet, I invite you to make something simple like this. If you like to do granny squares, or if you've kind of learned how to do crochet through granny squares, then that's perfect. And it's really nice if you can put together something you can actually use. So I encourage you to get my pattern, take a try at it. You can use this yarn, the Red Heart Granny Square yarn, or you can actually use your own yarns if you want to use the yarns that make you happy. You know, you can do that if you want to. I do really like this colorway though. This is as pretty as this colorway. You see the difference there? There's mostly the black edging around the outside of the square, and I also used it for the edging at the top and on the strap as well. But this is even prettier, and for spring that would be a really pretty bag. And if you're enthusiastic enough, you can give it to a crochet worthy friend who would appreciate your granny square tote. And that's what I would do if I was making a gift for somebody and they really loved crochet. I might do that. I might give them that. And you don't have to line it. Before I lined it, I took photos of it and it looked just fine. I really liked it, but I was just wanting to see how it would look if it was lined. And this is the front of the pattern. This is what it looks like on my Etsy shop. So it's On the Hook Granny Square Tote, so you can look for it out there on my Etsy shop. Now, this video is not complete unless I give a review of this yarn. Now, I've seen some reviews on YouTube, and they were not very complimentary. And I don't know why. I had no trouble at all making granny squares with this yarn. And actually, my yarn ended up to be pretty well where it was supposed to be. You know, this comes in a length of white and then black and then gray, and it's enough to do the square as described. Now, in my pattern, I've written the square instructions out, and I've added some things to maybe help you along a little bit and not make it so cryptic. And also on the back of the yarn band, and this is one complaint I have, it's not dreadful or anything, but on the back of the yarn band, they write the instructions for the square, and I couldn't read them. I mean, they were so faint and so tiny that I took some special glasses and I wrote out the pattern, and then I added a little bit to it so that it would make it easier for you to follow along. So that's in my pattern as well. But that's the only real complaint I had about this. I used an H hook to make my granny squares. It calls for an I hook, which is a little bit bigger, 5.5. I went down to a 5.0, and that way I had a little bit of yarn left over once in a while in that color. And what I did was I just dropped it and started the next square, started the next round with the new color, and I would leave it on the back just in a loop of what I wasn't using, and I just continued on like that. But mostly it ended up just right. I mean, it was just amazing. If you're consistent with your tension, it's much easier, but if you're not, just drop down one hook size and have a little bit left over each time, and you can just crochet over that on the next round. You don't have to tie in a bunch of ends. I didn't do it on my purse, and every time I had a little bit of yarn left over in a color that I didn't need, then I would just drop it and grab the new color and then slip stitch it on to the next round, and it would work just fine. And I've written all that in my instructions as well, so you can do that. But that's my only complaint about this, was the pattern. I couldn't read it. The rest of it is very easy to do, and you know, how hard would it be to come up with a yarn that had certain lengths of color for everybody to be, you know, to come out with a perfect square? It's not going to happen. And they probably knew that. So they said, if you're running out of yarn color, then go back and tighten up your stitches. And to me, that just doesn't sound like something people would want to do. So I just kept on stitching, and then when I came to the end of the yarn, I had too much, I would drop that and start the next color. Now, I dropped down a hook size, so be sure to remember to try that. Drop down a hook size, and then you can do it. And like I said, I had 13 squares plus a couple of extras. It says it makes 14 squares, so it's about right. There might be enough for one more, but I'm not criticizing it at all, because there's no way you're going to invent a yarn like this that works for everybody the first time. So if it doesn't work the first time, drop down a hook or increase your hook size, or just get over it and, you know, make sure your hook's a little bit smaller, and you'll have some yarn left over on each round, or maybe just one round. A couple of squares, I had this much yarn left in a color that I was finished up with. I didn't need it anymore, and so I just dropped that, and I started over here with the new color, and I slip stitched that in and started my round with that, and it was easy as pie. So give that a try. I really like it. I think it's fun, and there's a color that I want, and I've tried to find it on maybe 5 different websites, including Yarnspirations, and they're out of stock, and I was so disappointed about that. It's the red and black, and I think it might have a tiny bit of yellow in it. It's called Mood Cherry Black or something like that, and I went everywhere trying to find it because it was so beautiful. And if you go to Yarnspirations, they have a purse like this. They have a tote like this that's done in the red cherry, and I have to have one. I have to wait until they get back into stock. So that's the only complaint I had, was that they were out of stock too. So it was the pattern that was too hard to read, and that they were out of stock of the color that I wanted. And Joanne, I don't think even carried that color. So I'll have to find it online sometime, but I'm supposed to get an email when these places get back in stock. So hopefully I'll get an email. But that's my review of the Red Heart yarn. It's just like Red Heart Super Saver. There's nothing different. If you've ever used it, it's exactly like that as far as the yarn itself goes. And then using it for granny squares is just fun. It's a fun project. So, you know, if you're going to buy some, just buy one skein and make enough for my tote or something like that. And, you know, don't go hog wild and buy 3 or 4 skeins, because one skein will make this entire tote right here. It's in a big one. It's a big one too. It's big. So give it a try. Now let's talk about a project I have in process, and it involves motifs, and you would call them a granny square, but I'm calling them a beautiful, beautiful motif. And I'm making a cardigan, and I'll be putting out a pattern on this in not too distant future. I'll be publishing the pattern for that. But I'm using it with my City Tweed, and I bought a ton of this a couple years ago in all different beautiful colors, and I never used it. I used it to make, I think I made a cowl out of it, in the Irish cowl. You can find that on my Etsy shop as well, and it's a beautiful cowl. But I really love this City Tweed, and that's what this is made from. It's a DK weight, of course. This is the colorway Habanero, and this is the color I'm using for the edging and the ribbing and all that around the squares. So anyway, it's called City Tweed, and it is made from 55% merino wool, 25% super fine alpaca, and 20% Donegal tweed. And the Donegal tweed, of course, are the neps in there, the little pieces, or that's 20% of the tweed there. I don't know what that is. It's probably some kind of wool, or I don't know what it's made from. But anyway, this is 123 yards, 50 grams. So they're like half a skein. They're not really a full skein, but they are so wonderful. City Tweed, soft as it can possibly be. And it makes up real pretty. And here are some of the different colors that I'm using. This is the back. Let's see if this is the front. Here's the front side. This is the back of the sweater. The back of the sweater looks like this, and these are not regular granny squares. These are beautiful squares made with little puff stitches, and it's just beautiful. I love the way it came out, so I'm just going to use this. And then around each square, I'm using the Habanero color to edge each square and then to sew them together as well. Actually, I'm crocheting them together just like I did on the tote, and I explained that in there as well. But this is what I have for the back of the sweater. It turned out so beautiful. I really love it. I really love it. So I'll be doing the sleeves and the fronts in the motifs, and then I'll also be doing an edging around the neck and the bottom of the sweater, and also a cuff for the sleeve. So I have a ways to go yet, but I wanted to show you my progress. This is what I'm working on now. When I finished my tote, I started working on this, and it's just beautiful. I really love it, and I wanted to show that to you because I will be publishing a pattern like that. So you can do one yourself in any kind of yarn you want. You don't have to use City Tweed. You could use something, a DK and something else, some other brand. You can certainly use that. I'm using up my stash yarn, so I'm hopefully going to get through it in the near future. Hey, Crystal is modeling a sweater that I made at the beginning of the winter time, and this is called the Easiest Sweater. And I know I never published the pattern for this. I made this with a worsted weight yarn and also a very small, well, actually it's a size 2 yarn together, held together. As you can see, that gives it this beautiful mottled look. Let me get her back here where you can see her. And that's what she looks like. There is the back. And this has nothing special on it. It's really simple. The sleeves have a single crochet rib. They're not a rib, it's just a single crochet edging along the bottom of the sleeve. The top has a single crochet edge. The bottom, I don't even think I put an edging on here. It is the easiest sweater I think I've ever made. If you're interested in this pattern, write a comment in the comment section and let me know if you want me to write it. It's not difficult at all to make. And it fits great. I used a sleeve pattern that I've used in many of my patterns, and it gives the sleeve a nice look. It's nice and straight along here, and it graduates easier down to the wrist than some that I've seen. So I really like the sleeve pattern in this, and it's just a very simple pattern. And I used an L hook. That's a large hook. I used an L hook. Let's see if I can find one. Here's one. This is an L hook 8.0 millimeters. That's what it looks like right there. Let me turn it this way. It's a big hook. It's a big hook. But I was also using 2 different kinds of yarn for this, and I actually at one point had it out here, and I've probably put it away because I just ran out of room on my desk. There's so many things in progress. I also have a lot of other things in progress. I have several bags over here on the floor, but I don't want to go into all that. I want to show you what I've done with my diamond painting. So let's take a look at that. Here's a little video of my newest diamond painting. This is called Holiday Deer, and you can get it as a kit at Joann's. I think Michael's has it as well. Holiday Deer, and I really enjoyed working on this. It's a cute little picture, and as I told you one other time, I think it was last video, I took some red diamond drills and substituted them in the nose to make him Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. His nose isn't as big as it could be, but I liked it. A little shade of red there. I thought that was cute. And the ornaments are really beautiful, hanging from his antlers. Let me give you a close-up here. Also, the background is blended colors, and you wouldn't notice it from a way off, but if you look closely, you can see there's purple mixed in there, and of course the white little flakes of snow coming down. I just thought that was a nice touch. So this is Holiday Deer, again, hanging on my wall, and I'll be putting this up in the grandson's room so they can enjoy it. I also had it framed in a dark blue to pick up a little bit of the dark blue in the background, and then I had it framed in white just to give it a beautiful pop. Love that little kit. It didn't take long at all, maybe 15 hours, 12 hours total, because there was hardly any multi-placing drills. It was mostly one at a time drills. So, and it looks like it. Those are the most beautiful diamond paintings there are, the ones that do not have a lot of multi-placing on the drills. So Anyway, that's my newest diamond painting, and I hope you like it. Since my last video, I have not made a whole lot of progress on my Romeo and Juliet. I do work on it every night, but it is very slow going. So whatever I had done in the last video is pretty much what I have done now. I maybe have done another square or something, but I'll show that again next video. For those of you who have asked me about giveaways, and not too many of you have because you've probably forgotten about them, my video from, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I had a video that I had asked you to sign up for some gifts that I was giving away. And I want to show this to you real quick, and then we're going to select some winners. So let's do that right now. First of all, I have a cross stitch magazine. A lot of you do cross stitch, or if you know someone who cross stitches, you might have signed up for this. This is the word cross was the word in the comment that would get you in the running for this. Beautiful, beautiful patterns, of course, on the front. My favorite bird, the beautiful cardinal, and the it looks like a female and a male there. Could be. I know the males are bright red and the females are not quite as bright, but she's made this one yellow, which makes her so beautiful. And I love that. I love that. Look at it, get up there closer. And it also has snowflakes built in back here too. Very beautiful. If you like to cross stitch, that's a beautiful cross stitch for Christmas time. Now, Christmas has passed, and this was the December 2020 version of cross stitch, and I found this in my stash, but you know, Christmas is Christmas, and none of these designs ever change much. They're just more designs to look at. So I looked through here, nothing said 2020 on it. So if you signed up for that, we will select a winner for that today. So the word was cross in your comment. This is an awesome Crochet World magazine. I get several of these. I'm trying to get this where I can see it. There. I get several of these every time they publish, and I wanted to give this one away. The keyword was world, and this blanket right here, I would love to make that for this coming Christmas. I would love to make that. It's really beautiful. I love the colors, and I think it's done with Super Saver. Believe it or not, I believe it's done with Red Heart Super Saver yarn, and all the different colorways there. Look at that. It's beautiful. Red and light green, dark green, white, cranberry, kind of a wine color, red. It's so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it's got a little bit of fringe on there, which I wouldn't put on there. Probably wouldn't put on there, but you never know. Anyway, the word was world to be in the running for this one. And then we have some gumdrop yarn. This is by Red Heart, and it is called Rock Candy. That's the colorway of this particular yarn. It's made by Red Heart, of course. And let's see if I see anything else about it on here. Should. I guarantee you it's acrylic. It's acrylic yarn. But it's so cute, and it's still in the bag. Nobody's used any of this. So there are 3 skeins of that, and the keyword, of course, was gumdrop. And then ice yarn. This is a tape yarn. There's a ton of yards on this. And it's kind of a snow white, kind of an off-white, really pretty. And that is in the running as well. There are 4 huge skeins of that, all wrapped up, never used. And the keyword there was ice. And then finally, we have a shawl kit from Mary Maxim. It's a wrap or a shawl. And look at this beautiful yarn. I just love that. That is the beautiful colors right there. I almost wish I'd kept this, but I probably wouldn't finish it or even start it, knowing me. But there's a picture of the scarf right there. Let me get this over here, right there. There's a picture of it. Really beautiful. And a lot of people signed up for this because I remember seeing all the wrap was the keyword there for that. So let's take a look at So let's go out and see if we can figure out how to select winners for all these gifts today. It's been so long since I used the YouTube comment picker. They have me through Patreon now, and I'm going to have to spend some time figuring out how to get back into it. So I went ahead and ran the winners on the YouTube comment picker, and instead of dragging all that out, I just wrote down the winners that I came up with. Next week I'll try to roll those through like we used to do, and y'all really enjoyed that. So let me just tell you who won these gifts that I just introduced a minute ago. For the Cross Stitch Mag zine, cross stitch magazine, was Kelly Coleman 7898. That's Kelly Coleman 7898. Congratulations, Kelly. For the Crochet World magazine, that would be Jerry Ellis 3996. And it's JERRIELLIS 3996. So Jerry Ellis, congratulations, you've won a Crochet World magazine. For the Gumdrop Yarn by Red Heart, really like that. The winner was W.K. Johnson number 1, the unit 1. W.K. Johnson 1, and you've won the Gumdrop Yarn, and congratulations for that. And then the ice yarn was run by I'm a Crocheter, and that's spelled IMA.crochet-R. So I'm a Crocheter. So I'm a Crocheter. That's really cute. So you won the ice yarn, the gift. All right, and then the shawl kit, which everybody signed up for. There were lots and lots of comments with the word wrap, which was the keyword. The winner for that is Barbara McCleary. Barbara McCleary. That's her last name, M-C-C-L-E-R-Y. Barbara McCleary. You've won the shawl kit. It's so beautiful. I almost kept that for myself, but congratulations to everyone. Now, if your name was announced, please send me an email to Jeannie at On The Hook Crochet. That's JEANNE at onthehookcrochet.com, and tell me what you won and what your name is and your address so that I can get that out the door this week to you. So congratulations, everyone. Well, congratulations to all our winners. I think it's wonderful. I'm glad to be able to get this out the door and to someone who's going to use it. Now, a while back, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I gave away 2 skeins of Kobu yarn, and this is what it looked like. From Lion Brand. It was that color. The colorway is called Mauve, M-A-U-V-E, mauve or mauve, however you pronounce it. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. Okay, I had 3 skeins of this, and I couldn't find the 3rd skein, so I sent away 2 skeins, and I found this the other day in my stash. It was back in the back of one of my cubby holes, and I found it, and I thought, whoever won this, send me an email with a picture of your 2 skeins, and I will send you this for free. I'll just send it to you because I can't use 1 skein of it, and you probably would benefit from having another skein of that if you haven't already made it up. Okay, well, just send me an email to Jeannie at onthehookcrochet.com. All right, so first of all, we have King Cole double knitting. This is what's coming up for next time. So next video, we'll select winners for this. Each of these is 100 grams. This is DK yarn in the bag. I haven't used it. It's really gorgeous. Look at those colors. So beautiful. That's a DK yarn double knitting. And let's see if I can see what it's made from. This is the colorway Wizard is the colorway. And it's 30% wool, 70% acrylic, 324 yards on the skein, so that's almost 1,000 yards there, close to it. Make something really pretty out of that. So that's DK yarn by King Cole, and the keyword is king, K-I-N-G. The keyword is king. The next gift I have is ice yarn, and this is a bulky ice yarn in the wine color. There's plenty of yarn on here. Let's see if they tell us. It's 100 grams, 105 meters, whatever that translates to. And it's 12% wool, and the rest is acrylic. So that's what that is. It's got a little bit of wool in there, just about like a scarfy yarn. It's bulky, just like scarfy yarn, so very similar to that. It's a solid color. I think it's a little bit heathered. If you can look in there, it is really pretty. It's a very bulky, solid yarn. So that is, the keyword is ice, I-C-E, if you want to sign up for that. And then I have 2.5 skeins of this. I used this to make something. I can't remember what it was, but it is 240 yards on the skein. This is called Sunrise by Mary Maxim. It's a size 3 yarn. Beautiful color. The color is, let's see. It doesn't say what the color is. It just says color. I don't know why it doesn't say the color, but it's a turquoise. Beautiful, beautiful. Love that. Mary Maxim Sunrise. And I have 2.5 skeins of this. And the keyword is sunrise. So if you put that in your comment, you'll be in the running for that. There's also a cross stitch magazine that I just came across. This is really super nice. This is December of 2023. So it was last month. And this is another Christmas edition. That's really cute on the front. Look at that. That is cute. And you just put it in one of these round embroidery hoops, and you don't even have to frame it. That's really cute. And I wanted to show you some things in here. It's so pretty. Season of Love. That is, let me get this around here. You can see it. It's a Christmas tree made with hearts. Peace, love, and joy. 3 of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. If you're a Christian, you would know that. And then here's another one. This is Autumn Blessings, and you can make this for next fall. It'll be here before we know it, if you can believe that. Autumn Blessings. And there's that. I'll try to hold it still. I'm sorry. Moving all around here. Love that. Pumpkins and leaves. And it's just really cute. Autumn Blessings. And then there was one more I wanted to show you in here. And I know I don't cross stitch, but somebody out there would like to have this. And here's one also. It says, Hello Winter. You can actually do this now because we're certainly getting into winter time. Hello Winter with the little birds on there. I just love that. That's so pretty. And it's so subtle too. Very subtle. And they put it in a distressed frame. And I love those too. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Hello Winter. And there's an ornament hanging off the R. Look at that. It's cute. Cute detail in this design. So this is Cross Stitch magazine from December 23, and if you want to sign up for it, just use the word cross in your comment and you'll be in the running for that. And then also I have some batik yarn, and this is called Roller Coaster. This is batik yarn, very cute for it. Maybe a spring sleeveless blouse, a little sweater. You could crochet that. It's a size 4 yarn, and it's 100% cotton, so it's cotton batik. Let me show you the colors. There they are. There are 3 skeins of that. If you want to sign up for that, use the word batik, and it's B-A-T-I-K. B-A-T-I-K, just like that. B-A-T-I-K. They're 180 yards on each one, so, you know, you've got a little less than 600 yards, maybe 550 for that. So if you want that, sign up for with the word batik, and you can be in the running for that next video. So I've gone way over my time. I'm sorry I've kept you so long, but I have so much to talk about. Next video I have even more stuff that I haven't even brought up yet that I've started or completed, and I have a vest I want to show you next week, and several things I wanted to talk about, so, and some acquisitions as well. So please subscribe, please like this video. It helps me so much. I've been off the grid for a while, so I would like for everybody to like this video if you can. If you feel like you've learned anything or been inspired at all, please like the video, and that way YouTube knows that you want more content like this. So I hope you'll join me next time when we find out what's on the hook.